Hi everybody. I hope this works. I put a new card in my camera because my last one went bad on me. Anyway, I'm going to start a whole new series of videos, and I want to give you a heads up on what's coming up in case there's some of you out there that like to follow along with me. So the next series is going to be a bunch of vinyl shoes. It's going to be all vinyl. We're going to do I got a new pump shoe which fits the doll much nicer than the old pump pattern. So this will probably be the first one we start with. We're going to do Mary Jane's. I'm going to tweak this a little bit before I do the demonstration because I think I wasn't too crazy about how it looks from the front. So I'm thinking that instead of tucking that strap in, I think it might be better if you just tack it to the outside. So I'm going to do a shoe like that and see how it turns out. This was my first attempt at the Mary Jane, and I didn't, obviously I didn't do it right because there wasn't enough room back here for the doll's foot. And here's some of the tennis shoes, some of the newer tennis shoes that I'm going to show you how to do. This was my first prototype, and then I tried to tweak it from there. I made this one too small for the doll's foot. It still fits, but it's so snug that her toes are sticking out the side. So then I went a little bigger, and in the meantime I ended up shrinking the tongue area, and it doesn't look quite exactly right, so I went back to making a wider front area here. I think it'll look better on the shoes when we actually, these are just all test shoes. And you know, you're asking me, probably asking me how I came up with this pattern. Well, what I did was I had a pair of tennis shoes where the sole had ripped off the bottom. And I thought, well, you know what, maybe I can figure out how to take my shoe, put it on the printer, and shrink it down so I can actually come up with a doll shoe pattern. So this was my old tennis shoes, and I kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until I thought I had the right size, and I actually shrunk it too small. So I had to go back and make it bigger again. But anyway, here is the actual template for the tennis shoe that we're going to be doing. And it's an actual tennis shoe that I got the pattern off of, and I had a moment of clarity, believe it or not. It doesn't happen often. But then I realized that no matter what shoe you're making, all you have to do is, I brought one of my old shoes out, all you got to do is take a picture of the side and fold it like this, and you're going to be able to come up with a shoe pattern for any shoe in your entire closet. So no matter what shoe it is, if you use this technique, you're going to be able to copy any shoe down to doll size. So this was a naturalizer. I don't know, it's so old, it's probably like 20 years old. But this would be perfect for a doll shoe, and just by taking this and doubling it, I'll know how to, and shrink it, I'll know how to fit it for the doll. And another thing is, we're going to do the same thing for, see how they've got the strap with the elastic in here. We're going to sew the vinyl together and use some elastic here to make the new clog series. So I can't, of course, follow this exactly, but we'll do something like this in doll size, either straight across, or we'll do a fancy little thing, or we'll even do something like, I don't know, maybe taking our vinyl and making a design and going across in like zigzag with hearts and or whatever. We'll do that when we get to the actual shoes. But anyway, I wanted to go over what you're going to need to be able to make these shoes with the videos. So this is absolutely needed. You have to have these things. The first thing you're going to need is a walking foot, because we're going to be sewing layers of vinyl on top of other layers of vinyl. So I had this in my sewing box. I have no idea where it came from, but I believe it's a Singer walking foot. And I looked online, and it's as close as I could find to this. And this is called a Singer even walking foot. And basically what that is when you put this on your machine, you're going to insert this across the middle bar of your up and down, and this is going to move up and down as you sew, and as this moves up and down, it takes this little walking foot, do you see this, goes up and down, and you're able to, from your feed dogs, you're able to feed the fabric through from top and bottom, and that allows you to sew multiple layers of vinyl, leather, anything like that together. If you try to sew your vinyl together now, it's just going to tear your vinyl and rip it. So this is good for leather, vinyl, any of your really heavy. This is actually for quilting too. You can do multiple layers of quilting with a walking foot. But you can't sew these shoes without this. So like I said, I found them online. They're on Amazon.com. They're also on eBay. Check your manual on your sewing machine. Hopefully you have one. If you know a quilter, maybe you can just borrow hers for a while or his for a while, whatever. But these run anywhere from $10. I saw them as low as $7, and they go up to like to $59. So this model here is one of the cheaper ones. It's only like $10, and there's some available right now on Amazon. And this is a Singer. It's, like I said, as close as I can determine, it's a Singer. But you have to have one of these to sew these shoes. Okay, so that's the walking foot. That's necessary. You have to have it. Okay, second thing you have to have is leather needles. I got these at Joann's. This is size F, but it'll tell you 5 leather needles, and on the back it'll tell you to use on leather, artificial leather, heavy non-woven synthetics, and it has a cutting point, so it tells you do not use it on knit or woven fabrics. So this is what I'm using for the vinyl. I also bought the denim ones, which is the size down, but that's for like sewing with denim, and it probably will work, but it probably doesn't have that real sharp point on it like these leather needles do. So you have to have that. Okay, next thing you have to make these shoes is vinyl. So I was at Joann's, and I had a 25% off everything coupon, and so I looked at all the vinyls. This is marine vinyl, and it's $16.99 a yard at Joann's. But luckily I went on the day that I had a 25% off coupon. So for each eighth of a yard, it cost $2.12, and all you need is an eighth of a yard. Because if you take your pattern and look at it, all these are about the same. On a eighth of a yard, you're going to be able to get, I didn't figure out, but I think you can get 6 to 8 pairs of shoes out of one 8-inch, eighth of a yard strip of the marine vinyl. You probably won't get that many because you're going to want to save some of these, some of your vinyl to make strips out of it, so you can do different color coordinations around the bottom of your shoes. Like I've just got the silver on here right now, but I want to do a see how I've cut out these little star shapes on the side? I'm going to cut out more star shapes and put that on. I was just practicing on this, and it's all wrong. But I'm going to put star shapes all the way around. I have to cut my vinyl a little thicker. So you probably want to have a cutting tool, a rotary cutter, and a mat, because a lot of these things that we're going to cut with rotary mat and the rotary cutter. So so there's that. So eighth of a yard, and you can get all kinds of different colors. We can mix colors, like I mixed the white, the black, and the pink on this one. And there's just some beautiful colors. I got pinks, I got reds, I got blacks, I got yellows, oranges. But the colors are beautiful. I forgot to get the blues and the purples, but I'll go back and get those so I can make some of those colors. As far as the sparkle vinyl, I got this a long time ago. I bought it about a year ago at a store in Missouri. So I don't know. I hear it's special order, but they had it just when I walked in the store. They had these sparkle vinyls everywhere. but it's a little bit heavier than the, it's a lot heavier actually than the marine vinyl, and it's a little bit more difficult to sew with, but if you can find the sparkle, you can make some really cute shoes. You can even make those red ruby slippers, because it comes in the red too for, you know, if you're doing Wizard of Oz shoes. Okay, so you have to have the vinyl, so that was that. Okay, next thing you're going to have to make these shoes is some kind of vinyl glue that will work on vinyl. I've tried so many, and so far this one is working okay. This is called Stick and Seal. You only need a little bit because the rest of the time you're going to be using hot glue, but when you go to attach your trim to the outside, the ones that aren't sewed, just the plastic, the rubber trim, you have to use something like the Stick and Seal. I've heard that even that E6000 won't work. I've been reading online so many different stories about what will work on vinyl to vinyl, or plastic to vinyl, or rubber to vinyl, and everybody tells a different story. Some people say you can use hot glue, and then other people say it'll come off after a year when you use hot glue. But anyway, so far so good. This is working. It's called Stick and Seal. So you got to have something that will do that. So you're going to need your glue gun. So we don't really have to worry about not using glue on these, because when we're attaching our inner sole to our outer sole, we can just glue together like this, and it'll be cardboard against cardboard. This is a bad example. This is a better example. So it'd be cardboard against cardboard, so you're going to have that cardboard make that connection, and so you don't have to worry too much about that. So hot glue when we actually put these together, Stick and Seal when we add the trim. Okay, so then some of the optionals that I'm going to show you how to use is the gasket. This is tubular vinyl gasket. You can get it at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's $3.57 here in my area. I don't know what it will be for you, but probably pretty close. Anyway, it's 17 feet, and it comes with a tube on it. So what I've been doing is cutting the tube part off and just using the rest of it on these shoes, and that's where you're getting the different colors on here also. This was a test. I didn't line it up correctly. So I'm cutting off the tube part and just using the flat white part for around the edges. And then if you want, you can take a Sharpie or any of your, if you do the Stampin' Up or any of the paper arts, you probably have a lot of permanent markers, and then you can put any color you want it all around your plastic vinyl. And it's just, the problem with this is you have to be real careful, because if you even go outside the line, it's permanent, and you can't fix it once it goes outside of the line. You just have to start all over. So when I say that this will give you 11 pairs of shoes, it depends on how many mistakes you make, because I've made a ton. So I know you're probably not going to get the whole 11 pairs unless you're really, really careful with it. But anyway, it's called Frost King Tubular Vinyl Gasket. You can actually use it as it is and put it around your shoe for a different looking shoe. I think it's a little clownish myself, but if you want that look, you can definitely use it by putting your shoe on a platform, so you have enough room to let me see here. This will probably work. So yeah, all the way around like that. So you can get that. You can leave it tubular if you want, but I've just been cutting it off. But it's an option. Okay, so another thing with this vinyl gasket, the tubular gasket, you can use glitter in them too. That little groove you can fill in with. This one is scribbles, so you can fill it and have a gold glitter trim in that groove. Also, another one is this. This is my Studio G glitter, and I didn't want to have to buy special glitter. And I've told you before that Studio G glitter isn't permanent. So what I decided to do was take a permanent adhesive, which is this Max Tacky, and then my Studio G, and I was able to take do a small amount, because if you use too much, it'll dry out before you can get it on the machine, get it on the plastic. So do a little dab of that, and then a little dab of your Max adhesive, and mix them up. It's going to turn milky white, which is okay because it's going to dry clear. But now you know that when you do this, it's going to actually be permanent, and you're not going to be able to wash it off with water. And see how it's turning milky? So then I just took a needle, a pin, and I just started filling in that little crevice. And the nice thing about this one is if you make a mistake, there's no problem, because you can always wipe it off and try again. So that's one of the nice things about using the scribbles and the glitter in your trench for designing. So that's another option. So here's the scribbles. It turned out real pretty. I just tried a little piece. Here's your gold scribbles. It's fine. That would look really beautiful on a pair of shoes, especially something like this one with the green glitter tennis shoes. That would be gorgeous. So anyway, that's an option. Okay, another option. Okay, that's the gasket, the glitters, the Sharpies, the hole punches. I bought these at Joann's, this one, because they were 40% off. This is a Fisker, and this is the heart-shaped one. And you're just punching holes like you're doing with regular paper, and you can get right through the vinyl, and you get a nice clean cut. This was like a $6.50 hole punch. These ones I bought at Hobby Lobby, or I bought them a couple different places. I bought two in one place, and then I bought another one. But these ones are nice too. You'll get a different, this is a star. Sometimes it won't cut nice, and they say to sharpen these, you can just keep cutting with aluminum foil, and you'll get a sharp cut again. But honestly, I think that the Fiskers are probably the best quality, best made ones. And they cut so much nicer than these $2.99 centers and $3.99 centers. See how the butterfly? That was my $2.99, and it barely cuts through the vinyl. So, and then I got a one more. This is a flower shape, but this is optional on your shoes. Like I said, these were cutouts I did with white hearts, and I used the glue, and I just glued the little white hearts on here. And here I did the stars, black stars. And this one I just used my regular hole punch, and I put, I glued glittery ribbon underneath that, and that's how I came up with this design. Okay, so anyway, that's what's on tap. So I'll probably start out with the new clogs, because they're the simplest to do. Same thing, I covered them up. But you have to have those things, otherwise you're not going to be able to follow along with me. So the walking foot you need, you have to have the needles, you have to have the vinyl, and you have to have the stick and seal to put your trim on your shoes. Okay, so that's what's coming up, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.